James McPake, Davy Provan, what do you make of that decision today?
A bit strange, they give him the transfer window. He was allowed to bring a couple of players in, including Niall McGinn. And you would think the board would only do that if they were going to stick with him. And here he is bumped a couple of weeks later. I think you can blame Malky Mackay, actually, because after 6-7 games this season, Ross County, you'd have put your house in Ross County going down. And Malky somehow managed to turn it round, got them up the table. I think they're now looking at top 6 place. That would be their aspiration. And Dundee are now in the playoff spot. So we're getting to a stage in the season where people who are investing in football clubs, who have to put their money down, they get a wee bit trigger happy at this time of the year, get a bit nervous. I think they've probably acted a little bit too soon. But listen, it's John Nelms and his boss in America. It's their money that's on the table. So I've always believed that providing the owners pay the manager up, they're entitled to hire and fire.
He's quite an impressive guy, James McPake. I mean, he's been on this show a few times, and you ask him a question and he gives you an answer. He's pretty straightforward. He's pretty open. He wears his heart on his sleeve, Barry.
Yep. When I've seen Dundee play this season, I've had some tough results. He's come out and he's been open and honest and saying it's not been good enough. He's always needed to strengthen the squad. And the surprising thing with Dundee sacking him is they backed him in January. They went out and they've spent a few quid. David just mentioned Niall McGinn. He'll be on a fair wage. He's a good player. Zach Rudden, they had to pay a fee for him to get him out of his contract early at Partick Thistle. So we backed him in January. I thought they would have at least gave him to the end of the season, and certainly with the 2 results he's had over the last week, going down to Tynecastle and getting a great result. And then I watched the game in Monday night, the game you were commentating on. Look, they weren't great, but you seen Niall McGinn took his goal well. Charlie Adam, good penalty, what a ball for the Niall McGinn goal. So they have got good players. They've not produced for me on a consistent basis, but I still think James McPake at least deserved until the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that performance against Peterhead was hardly one that will live long in the memory from Dundee. But they are in the Scottish Cup quarter-finals. They've got that just a matter of a few weeks away, Davy. And the result at Tynecastle, where they were a goal down and came back to win 2-1, I mean, that was massive. That you would have thought was a job-saving result.
Exactly. That's why it's something of a surprise to me. I guess John Nelms will be looking at the budgets of other clubs around them. Dundee, I don't know what their budget is in terms of clubs around them, but I'd imagine they've got a bigger budget than Ross County. Probably a bigger
Livingston?
Probably a bigger budget than Livingston, maybe even St Mirren, or certainly on a par with St Mirren. And John Nelms might feel that they shouldn't be in the playoff spot, that they should be. I'm not saying they should be top 6, but you probably feel that they should be further up the table and certainly safe.
But as Davy says, Barry, it's panic stations time, isn't it, at some clubs? And when the owners and the chairman start getting heat, we know what happens next. I mean, in your situation, you took the decision, you stepped down from the job, but sometimes you don't get that choice.
No, but you're always going to get noise. Fans are never going to be happy. Sometimes they don't like a manager, they don't like the way that you set up. But that's up to the people who own the club to shut that noise out and back the manager. And I think they've done that, as I said, certainly in the transfer window and with the couple of results he's had over the last week. And I'll go back to it. I feel for James McPake. I think he deserves. He's been there 3 years, just over 3 years. Honestly, think he deserves the last 2.5, 3 months of the season to go and make sure he keeps Dundee in the Premier League. And they've got a good opportunity because it's still close down that bottom. And he'll believe in his own ability that he was good enough to go and at least cement their place in the Premier League.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.